soldier in Sudan, Emmanuel Jal, escaped to fulfill his dreams of becoming an international music star. He's since travelled the world, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Alicia Keys, and now Emmanuel is in London to share his story. I'm very pleased to say that Emmanuel joins me live in the studio. Emmanuel, welcome. Wow, so talk to me about your story. So you're a young boy, you've got yourself to the position where but you're born in South Sudan. What happened to you?
Well, in the 80s, the war broke out, and my father told me I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia. So hundreds and hundreds of kids were collected, thousands. And when I arrived in Ethiopia, that's where I got trained, and I became a child soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
So how old were you then? You were, how old?
I left home when I was 7.
You left when you were 7?
And then a year later, I found myself, as my toys became the AK-47.
Oh my goodness. So you left because of the war. I understand during that time there was a civil war. Your mother was killed, is that right?
My mother died during the wars. Actually, that war reached the core of my family. So most of my aunties died during the war. There was poisoning of the wells. And then there's massacre that was happening, and people were running from one place to other. And one time they said the journey of these young people going all the way to Ethiopia could be tracked bone by bone until you arrive in Ethiopia.
So how did you get out? Because you say that, you say I got out and I did this, but how did you get out from where you were at that age? Because you're very young.
So we escaped. We were like around 200 to 400 people, and we planned one of the most deadly escape where only 16 people survived.
Right.
The rest, everybody died on that journey. And up to now, as I can recall, probably only 2 of us or 3 of us are alive.
So was this like a long walk that you did, or did you
It was a long walk. There's ambushes, there's different things happening. There's starvation, there's dehydration. And it's the lowest point in my life, apart from being in a battlefield. In the battlefield, you know what's going, there's an enemy you're fighting. But when you go on a long journey where you're fighting starvation, the lowest point when I was tempted to eat my comrade, there was no food. And a fellow child soldier was dying, and I told him, I am going to eat you tomorrow.
Oh, God.
So being in a situation where your senses change and your fellow human being smell like food, that's what I had to experience around when I was 11 or 12.
Okay, so you're 11, 12, and then you became a child soldier. So how did that work? So you were trying to get to Ethiopia?
I was trained when I was 7.
Right, so
by 8, I was already a child soldier.
Wow.
So I became a child soldier for like 4 to 5 years period.
And what did you have to do whilst you were a child soldier? What was the...
When you're a child soldier, you're like any other soldier. So mostly, these battles are organized and you go to battlefield. The current city called Juba, which is the main city of... I used to be deployed in that area. I was deployed there. And several attacks, that's why I got to experience. Actually, it's exciting. When you're going to the battle, there's an adrenaline. There's the rhythm of the guns that drives you.
Yeah.
The most terrifying thing is when you lose. And that's when you get to see these children that were fighting like adults become children.
Yeah.
Because this person is gone. You never get to see them again, and it haunts you.
Yeah. I can imagine that's frightening. So how did you get out of that?
How I got out of it is when we planned an escape, as I told you, like only 16 people survived. And we walked like a journey that was supposed to take 1 month, took us 3 months. And I arrived in a place called Word, where I met a British aid worker called Emma McCune. And she rescued over 150 child soldiers. And then she smuggled me to Kenya. And when she arrived in Kenya, later after a few months, she died.
Oh, no.
And my life became another journey. So it has always been up and down.
How did she die?
She got killed on a car accident, so she was being accused that she's supporting the war that is happening. But she did an amazing job because she introduced Under the Tree schools, and she was empowering women, and she ended up marrying one of the rebel leaders known as Dr. Riek Machar, which is currently under house arrest in South Sudan. Because South Sudan, the most terrifying thing is the same thing that happening to me is actually repeating itself now. So there's devastation now. There's ethnic cleansing that is happening. There's people that are dying.
Well, it's horrible, but you managed to get out there and you managed to start creating music. Where did that go? We're really running out of time. I hope we can drop something and listen to more. But how did you get into the music? Where was the connection?
The music was, I never planned to be a musician. It was something I found myself. It became like a way to channel away a lot of evil that has been put in me. And I found a way that I become a child again and used it to be able to project the message that I want to take to the world.
That's quite incredible. Let's have a listen to one of your tracks. What's this one called? I think. Wow, amazing. And that track's called Shak Song, is that right?
Yeah, it's milk, which means it's like you're prophesizing about the future to talk about. Now time has gone, I'm just going to be showering with milk.
Really?
When you mean you're going to shower with milk, it means you're going to be wealthy, all your challenges are going to be.
So if people want to find out more about you and, you're doing a lot of things, you're doing things with charity and all that, where can they go? Where can they hear your music?
So they can just look for Emmanuel Jal. So it's all on social media. It's in my website is the same. And the charity that we're working on right now that is responding in emergency and food security, Memnosyne.
Okay, well listen, Emmanuel, it's been such a pleasure to meet you. I'm so sorry we didn't have more time, but I had to get you in because I know you're going back. You're leaving the country on Tuesday, but much appreciated. So that was Emmanuel Jal, his incredible song, his incredible music. Check him out on all of those social media outlets. But first, let's get more in the next hour.
My side of salvation and the burning jungle, desert plain, and the next was I, but Jesus heard my cry. As I was tempted to eat the rotten flesh of my comrade, he gave me comfort. We used to raid villages, stealing chickens, goats and sheep, anything we could eat. I knew it was rude, but we needed food, and therefore I was forced to send to make a living, forced to send to make a living. Sometimes you gotta lose to win. Never give up, never give in. Left home at the age of 7. 1 year later, I live with an AK-47. By my side, slept with one eye open wide. One duck, play dead and high. I've seen my people die like flies, but I've never seen a dead enemy, at least one that I've killed. But still, as I wonder, I wouldn't go under. Guns barking like lightning and thunder. As a child so young and tender, words I can't forget. Never give up, never give in, never give up. Never give in, never give up.